We
We
now
now
call
call
this
this
meeting to order.
meeting to order.
Thank you everyone for coming. And
Thank
now
you.
we've heard a lot of dialects from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, LUZVISMIN. So I like the phrase laban lang besh, keep on fighting, even if it's said in Chinese by Zara. So I will call now our toaster of the evening, the coach of these three clubs with Toastmasters for 9 long years. See, he is a dedicated Toastmaster, and it's said there, Siko. And the highest position or the highest norm in Toastmasters is Distinguished Toastmaster. The highest position is Division I Director in, no, not I Director, Division Director in Saudi. And when asked the last line, what is the spark that made you always attend TM meetings? If, not only attending TM meetings, but doing everything to contact the roll takers all over the Philippines and outside of the country. He said, because of the kaleidoscope of storytellers. I agree. We are here to listen to storytellers and learn from them. Now, may I call on our Toastmaster of the day?
From Cebu. Today, it will be a kaleidoscope languages, dialects from all across the Philippines. So before I continue, I would like to request everyone, please unmute. So I would like to request everyone to please unmute. Then in chorus, let's say in your mother dialect, how would you say I love you? Okay? In my on three, not on three, right? So please unmute everyone. Unmute. I would like to request everyone to please unmute. Okay. So we still have few of our here to please unmute, and we're going to say I love you in chorus on three. On my count, okay? One, two, three. Mahal
Hello,
Lugaw.
Ikaw!
Thank you so much. So unmute now. So fellow toasters and guests, it's so nice to hear different kinds of language. I myself, I love to travel. I know my first initial intention to go to Toastmasters is to get a US visa, which I get after 6 months, basically. But look at me now, I'm still in Toastmaster after 9 years. So that's how I love Toastmaster. Now, today, in 1898, we as Filipino was able to get our independence. Independent after 300 years under the Spanish under the Spanish, by the way. So later on, we're also going to learn some Spanish speakers that we're going to be at the same time the counterpart of the evolution. Now, from 1898, 26 years after, do you know what happened? In 1924, was put into birth, right? So in 1924. Now, after 8 years, what happened? The first Toastmaster here in the Philippines was also opened. That is Tamaraw Toastmasters Club. And we have Sir Ivan who could be a member of Tamaraw Toastmasters Club. And right now, we are more than 8,000 members of Toastmaster here in District 75. And if you heard the calling of our PQD, Toastmaster Richard, we need 800 to become distinguished district. Please, let's do that by giving 5 more clubs in our so that we can able to reach distinguished club. Now, we are here from BAVI Toastmasters Club. You know, BAVI was opened way back 5 to 8 years ago. They opened 4 clubs across the Philippines. And one of them, or 3 of them, is here in Division I. We have Babi Cebu, Babi Visayas, and Babi Bicol. We as master, we help each other. That's why we have our joint meeting in order to strengthen our Toastmasters Club, just like what happened in 898. Filipino is trying to strengthen themselves in order to get independent. And karong adlaw, makadungog og tulo ka different languages from all across the Philippines. We have people from Luzon, we're going to do a speech. We have people Visayas as well as across Sulu. We're going to hear from the Tausog speech. So my fellow Toastmasters and guests, I think for me, independence is all about liberation. Liberation wherein our voice is heard. So let's go on now to the voice of the deep dialects in the Philippines. Our go on with our first speaker. May I request our Zoom master to please help me to share? Yes. Okay. We would like, so before we start with the speaker, we would love to hear first with the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes. We have to do that one. It's the Independence Day, by the way. So go ahead and unmute, and I will just read the Pledge Allegiance. So I am a Filipino. I
Filipino,
pledge
I
my
pledge my
allegiance to the
allegiance to the
flag of
flag
the
of the
Philippines
Philippines and to the
and to the
country
country it
it
represents with
represents. With
honor,
honor,
justice,
justice,
and
and
freedom,
freedom,
put
put
in
in
motion by
motion
one
by
nation
one
under
nation
God,
under God, humanity,
humanity, nature,
nature, and
and
eternity.
country. And can we have the Toastmaster promise? So,
As
as
a
a
member
member
of
of
Toastmasters
Toastmaster
International
International and my club, I
I
promise
promise
to
to
attend club
attend
meetings
club meetings
regularly,
regularly, to
to prepare
prepare
all
all my
projects to the
projects
best
to
of
the
my
best of my
ability,
ability,
basing
to
on the
get on the
Toastmasters
Toastmasters
educational
education
program,
to
to prepare
prepare
for and
for
full
and
meeting
fulfill meeting
assignments,
assignments,
to
to
provide
provide fellow
Toastmasters with
members with
helpful
helpful
constructive
continued
evaluation,
evaluations,
to
to
help
help
the
the
club
club
maintain the
maintain
positive,
the positive,
friendly
friendly
environment
environment
necessary for
necessary
all
for all
members
members
to
to
learn
learn and
and
grow,
grow,
to serve my
to
club
serve my
as an
club
officer
officer
when
when
called
called
upon
upon
to
to
do
do
so,
so,
to treat my
to
club
treat my fellow club
members
members and
and
guests
our
with respect
guests
and
with
courtesy,
respect and to bring
to
guests
bring guests to
to
the
club
club meeting so
meeting
that they can
so they
see the
can see the
benefits of
benefits
Toastmasters
Toasters membership
offers,
offers.
to
To
adhere to the
adhere to the
guidelines and rules
guidelines
for
and
all
rules for all
Toastmaster
Toastmasters
education and
education
diffusion
and
programs,
diffusion programs,
to act
to
within
act
Toastmaster
within
core
Toastmaster
values of
core values
integrity,
of
respect,
respect,
service,
service, and
excellence
excellence
during the
during
conduct
the
of all
conduct of
Toastmasters
Toastmasters
activities.
activities.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, before we go on with our three activities, because we have the prepared speakers, the table topic, as well as our general evaluation form. And we would love to request everyone to use the word of the day. And to introduce the word of the day is who can speak Mandarin, basically, so he can speak Chinese. We have Toastmaster Sarah Francesca C. Dynamic Leadership 2. Toastmaster Sarah, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, 大家好，我是 Zara. My name is Zara, and 今天下午，this afternoon，我的任务 my task is to 告诉你们今天的话 which is the word of the day, and the word of the day is bongga. So as you saw earlier, the meaning of bongga is it's adjective. It means an extravagant, flamboyant. It's impressive or stylish. So as a more general term of approbation, excellent or great. So an example here is BAVI's joint clubs, joint meetings are always bongga. Another one that they shared to me is wanted my gift to be extra bonga this year. So I do hope if you guys meet me, give me some gifts, okay? Ask a person to share how to use the word of the day. So let me on our grammarian, Toastmaster uh, Toastmaster Shell.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarah. I joined BAVI Club Toastmaster meeting today because I wanted to hear bonggang speakers. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shell. I think we are looking forward to that. To end my to end my session, I will say this phrase, Wan Cheng Ra U. It's complete the task or complete mission. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Ni hao ma. Thank you so much, Master Sarah, for such with them until right now, right? So, are you excited to listen with our speakers for today? Again, we have four different speakers and they're going to deliver in bilingual based on their mother tongue. So, our first speaker, would you like to share with the slide to give some information? Uh, so, our first speaker, we're going to deliver his engaging path level 1 project 2, which is innovation and feedback. This is her first speech. So the purpose of the speech is the purpose of of this project is to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The speaker is given up to 7 minutes, and the title of the speech is Ang Aking Salamin. And our speaker will be evaluated with a champion speaker also from Luzon. We have Toastmaster John Roy, which is doing PM2. Now, our speaker is the president of Filipinas Toastmasters Club, going to deliver in the dialect of Tagalog. Let's help me welcome Toastmaster Tiangco ACG PM5EH, Toastmaster Rina, ang aking salamin.
Nung ipinanganak ako'y may salamin. Ganto kwento. Noong ipinanganak siya, siya ay nag-iisa. Ng mga minuto, hindi na nag-iisa. Siya ay sama na. Kami ay dalawa. Katayan. Pagkatapos, naman, tapos sabi niya, ako naman, anong ganaman ito? Lalo, pinalo din ako. Pinagka, nainom din ako. Pinihisa siya. Pinihisa din ako. Pero, palaging pareho. Ink siya. Blue na. Blue ako. Nasa na kami. Kaya nung alaki kami, pareho kaming kinakain. Kinakain niya, kinakain ko. Minsan, luwa niya, kinakain ko pa rin. Ganon kami ka-close. Kaya lang, pagkasama niya, kasalanan ko rin, sasabihin sa kanya, Ambal! Ambal? Kasalanan ko Sabi niya, ang totoong pangalan niya ay, nandito siya ngayon. Ang pangalan niya ay Ruth. At ang pangalan ko ay Rina Kalog-Kalog. Pero, pag tinatawag kami, Ambal! Ngayon, meron na kaming deficiency syndrome. Kasi, ang likod namin, paikot-ikot kami. Ang inagdagan ko kasi, inulog kami. Kaya nasobra kami na sobrahan kami ng pagkulog siguro kaya meron kami attention system. Kami ay napaka super active, hyper high. Sabi ng nanay namin, ay dalawa, marunong. Diyos ko, mag-aral naman kayo. Ewan ko ba, kahit naman hindi kami mag-aral kami. Ako kami ng grades. Ang taas ng grades namin. Kasi, feeling lang ang taas ng grade namin. Pareho ng feelings. Sinishare namin emotionally at ang mga sayan nung lumalaki kami. Palagi kami kinukumpara. Kami isang teacher, sabi ko lang, ay nako, ang sinabi. Pero sinabi niya, mas maganda siya. Nagalit ako, sabi ko sa mami ko, mami, teacher, ay ka na. Siguro, ha? Payag na namin. Siya sa principal, simula nun, hindi na siya nagpupunta. Hindi siya nawala ng trabaho. Ay, ako, ganda din yung mga barkada namin, yung mga barkada ng high school, pareho, kaibigan niya, sa ito. Kaya alam niyo ba, Iwan, kung kaibigan niyo siya, kaibigan niyo rin ako. Wala kaming ini-edit. May mga kaibigan iba, yung college, ang mga kaibigan niya, yung mga kaibigan ko naman yung mga sorry na lang, pero medyo magimik-imik ako. Meron kaming mga landas na nagkaibigan din. Ako ay naging buntokera at siya naman ay, ano bang tawag doon? Siya sa indoors. Ako sa, kahit na nasa indoors ako, wala kami ng condition ng skin. Lagi namin naalagaan yan. At artistahin kami kasi kaming dalawa ini-entertain namin ng isa't isa. Kaming kumanta at saka mahilig kami magsayaw. May kaming kinsong Ganito. At ang isang ibig ay parlatsangan na pandalaan. Kaya't sa ating ay tayo ay mag-awa. Sasayaw. Bakit kami? Karaoke kami ng karaoke. Minsan mga alam na, meron na pala siyang COVID. Nakalimutan kami. Ganun ka hindi. Hindi, wala kaming tinatantanan. Kaya super kami. Actually, nagbabagayan kami. Kung nagkaroon cancer, nauna lang ako magka-cancer. Pagkatapos ng ilang taon, siya naman. Alam niyo ba, lahat ng mga cancer ng mga kaibigan, binigyan ko ng big. Malapala na namatay. Kaya nung sinabi niya ron, meron cancer. Sabi ko gano'n sa, sige, padadala ko yung big. Walang nangyayari sa kanya. Dahil alam ko, laban siya. Kaya, alam na, isa pag meron ako, parang nalulungkot kami. Akala niyo ba, para lagi mag-is? Hindi minsan nag-aasaran kami. Yung bata nga kami, nagsasabundot nga kami ng... at saka pag nakakasar kami, sa isa't isa, nagkagaya kami. Ikaw, kayang-kaya. Ikaw, kayang-kaya. Tumaya. Ikaw, tumaya. Pero, yung bata ngayon, sobrang ganito. I love you, Ruth. I love you rin, Rina. Sabi ko, I love you Hindi, I love you. Share salamin. Sobrang blessing kasi meron akong ayon sa gusto niya. Meron akong soulmate. Ayan ang aking salamin. Hi, bro!
Wala kang wifi.
Ito yung church namin. Mamaya, pag may oras. Po!
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rina. We have fun. By the way, Toastmaster Rina is not only good thing, he is also good in other way. Thank you so much for your fan. I received one. Nakuha ko to kahapon. So, thank you so much. So, hindi lang siya magaling mag-acting, magaling ding magpinta. So very much Toastmaster Rina, and send my regards to your other. Hopefully, I have my own other half as well. Perhaps I'm looking.
Nandito po siya ngayon. Pwede po siya. Nandito siya ngayon. Si Ruth. Hanapin niyo si Ruth at siya mukha ko siya yan. Ayun po si Ruth.
Oh, Toastmaster Ruth. I'm not looking for my half. I'm looking for my better half. So let's go on with our next speaker. So our speaker is from Luzon. Let's go down to the heart of the Visayas. So our next speaker, we're going to do his persuasive influence path, level 1, project 1, icebreaker. The purpose of the project is to remember to introduce himself or go to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. So our speaker is given 4 to 6 minutes. By the way, I would love to please our timer for today. Our timer for today is Toastmaster Jessica. So Toastmaster Jessica, okay. Our speaker will be evaluated, Toastmaster Wilma Rosen. And the speech title is Karasala. Karasala. Our second prepared speaker is the area director for Division I, Toastmaster Boyet Claros. Speech title, Karasala. Toastmaster Boyet.
Maupay nga kulupaton nga tanan. Makbaka mo. Hi ako diri akargaran on at the same time diri ako taklumanon. Kay akong nanay taga Cart Cebu, anakong tatay taga Kanduliran. Pero nagtubo ako iba nga lugar. Hatun gutiyay pa nagpako mga almost 3 years baby pa kakaibiran duliran. Anakatay na assign hindi pa katrabaho. Nagbalhin na luwatin lugar. Na transfer nga to Haborongan si Eastern Samar. Manang tulo ka tuig. Bumalit na luwat otro diha Ormoc City. So at least maaram gihapon mag-istorya hindi saya. Ngan kahuman hadto bumalit na luwatin iba lugar ang akong tatay inahakarigara. Pero ang akong nanay, usang Cebuano, taga City, ang akong tatay, ang akong gimension ng kaibiran-biliran. So combination, ako hindi Bisaya, nganin waray nun. Haddak bit storya, da ako hakarigara nagdako. Sa lahan kinabuhi, an ada haprubyan. Kay simple lang kinabuhi, waray kagin mga damo. Okay na, makon hintulo ka beses sa usa ka taon. May da how paniud to ngan paniha. Hadton una diri nagunahon mga stock in between. Han mga adlaw ngan ako elementary ngan high school maupang panahon pamahong-pahong pabakta sa kalsada diri ka naguna-huna kay waray masyado pulis. Nakikita nimo ang kaayhan lugar. Kay kita nimo ang mga kapaligiran nga green and color. Simple la karasahan kinabuhi. Di ba bongga? Anak po ako han elementary nga tun high school, na-develop ha akon kalugaringon pat akon igkasi ko mga kaklase ngan akon mga kayan ang pagiging close. Kay simple la ang mga ambisyon na kinabuhi kay damo nga mga asyus. O payla kung nakakais na kausa ka at pero kasagaran waray. Graduate and high school Pero waray damo nga ginaaro, diri mahilig in snack. Asya ito ang kinabuhi ng probinsya. Hakadugayan, diri man mag-iinukoy sa probinsya kay kinahanglan mag-eskwela ng kolehiyo. Nag-eskwela hatakloban ng kolehiyo, nakan. Nga naika-experiensyahin iba-iba nga pamaagihan buhi. Kay hadton mga panahon, 5 kami magburugtong naging pa-eskwelahing college. Man dapat ang usab umundang ang kay diri mauhuman kay dako tuson. Naka-experience ang gihapag pila hakada eksaminasyon kumadto opisinahan presidente han Dimog University para lang makataken eksaminasyon. Pero natalwa hapon han sakripisyo. Daki gayon ang ginhatag paka-adjust pero natalwa hapon masisiring ko karasalahan kinabuhi. Nagsasantos din damo ang mga eksperyensya nga diri na kagdiretso ang imo karuyag pero maras pagunahon-naon nga natalwasan mo itong hakahiyaan nakatrabaho ang pagkolehiyo nakatrabaho in iba kumpanya habangko haber pa ibang direct selling company pero ito akon nakitaan kung babalikan na kon adto nga tanan kara sa pagunaon nga natalwas ako rito bisan akakurian hindi may dakatalwasan nakikita ko nga kinabuhi talaga din libutan importante naton iyoy akadatagsa kay ang kinabuhi maupay pag-unaon kundi rin nimo pro-problemahon. Kaya na, nagtatrabaho lagi hapon, nagpapadayon ng kinabuhi, damo ang aton mga eksperyensya. Danay ada igbaw, danay adi naman haubos. Kara sila pag-unaon ang kinabuhi. Nga permi naton natatalwas, di mga problema. Ang importante, waton kinatamakan. Padayon nila, rasa ang kinabuhi. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Wow, Iboyet, karasa sa imuhang istorya kun gara kaayo, bonggang bongga. So Toastmaster Boyet, you're from Karkar, which is the best chicharon is from Karkar. And we know that Biliran also have the nice places in terms of spring, in terms of falls. Plus, I think they have the good water according to according to Toastmaster Nin.
We have the sweetest
Karasa,
water.
good kaayo. Okay, so we will listen to our also from the Kaligad. We're going to evaluate our speaker. Right now, let's go to another bonga speaker. I find our third speaker very bonga when she do during the humorous. So let's try to look at who is our third speaker. Our third speaker will go do her dynamic leadership level 1 project 3 research and presenting. The purpose of the project is for the members to learn or review basic research method and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Our speaker is given 5 to 7 minutes to present speech, and it will be evaluated by the Sulu State College President or Club President, Toastmasters Club. We have Toaster Firash, Sheet Utatalom, which is R1. Our third speaker going to do a speech entitled, okay, I still have problems with my eyes. I'll make it more. Bud Tumandagis, Sulu's Crying Mountain. Third speaker is one of my favorite during the speech, during the Euros. We have Toastmaster Rania Abdul Rauf. The virtual floor is yours.
Budtumantangis is the highest peak in the Sulu mainland. It is located in the Indanan boundary. It is surrounded by green forests and farmlands. Aside from just being a magnificent sight in the place, it also served as an icon, a unique land among the Tausugs, which they identified with their homeland, Sulu. Every settler, visitor, or traveler in Sulu would know which and where is Bod Tumantang is. If a common seafarer comes home from a long journey at sea, simply looking for this mount is his assurance of going back home. In fact, for the Tausugs, this mountain had already become equivalent of the word home. Just like Japan having Mount Fuji, or London with the Big Ben, or Paris with Eiffel Tower, and USA with the Statue of Liberty, Sulu has Bud Tumantangis. But why Crying Mountain? For its name, the Tausug word tangis is the equivalent of the English word cry, or to cry. The term tuman, on the other hand, has no equivalent meaning, both Bahasa Sulu or in English, as far as my little knowledge in English is concerned. But there were a number of theories as it was called Tumantangis. And one of those is the weeping women theory. Ang hambok story, pasala na ina nagtangis tuod, sabab sinway septa sin anak niya, at awalaw niya pa siya, sabab sin dakbus na tuod siya malaas, na hinang manlilimos. Nagtaturan siya, si Mambahayang, ang payo ngayon paulaw taala. Nunitan, in anak niya, pasala nakakahinangan kanipun marayaw. Pag-uwos naman ka, aon di matuy musila. Doon mayan, na aon matuy inbudindugan si maas babae, banghaw no siya sila, na ngayo pan nagpapansyat. I don't have a longer version of this, as I only heard it once. This is a different version of perhaps many more versions about the existence of Bud Tumantangis. And why was it merely called that way? The highest peak in the land, Bud Tumantangis is the last thing farer will see from his home upon embarking on a far journey. And it's also among the first things seafarers would see coming back home. And this journey would usually take them months to years before they can come. Tears are expected when they finally set sail. Then on, until that day they will reach this land, tears of longing will slip through the eyes of these warriors. And brave warriors of the sea, and with the wrong assumption that men should never cry. Each warrior must try to prevent those tears from coming, or else his pride as a Tausug will be at stake. But even the brave warriors of the sea cannot hold those tears from coming out, be it due to greatness from separating from their homeland, or of joy of seeing their home once more. To sum it all up, the great Bud Tumantangis still stands with great pride in taking part along with his people, the Tausugs. The struggles they had been through ages and ages since. This mountain had indeed lived to its name as the crying mountain, or the mountain to cry. As she had witnessed all her sufferings her people had underwent the past centuries, she had also been a great icon to the Tausugs. Her unwavering serves as a symbol for the Tausug to stay strong and still remain standing amidst all the devastating storms that may come. To raise sun tall and reach for the sky that seems so for us to reach, and to accept the fact that even brave souls have to cry, that even great warriors must have the courage to say, I am weak. To my fellow Tausugs, I challenge to look back to where our people had been. what they have through, what they're going through right now. Remember where we came from and never to forget what had happened in the past. Let us learn from them and never let them happen again. We were one great country. We had done it once and survived countries. There is no reason why we can't do it once. Maybe not now, but in time, we will. Inshallah. Let us all be united in heart and in action. Let us not put all those tears we shed into it. Let us show bukod tumantangin that all those tears of despair every soul had shed worth crying for. By then, inshallah, we don't have to shed tears of pain anymore, but tears of success. This crying mountain will rest. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Wow, that was so bongga, Master Rania. All I can say is mambuk mia mia. So which means good job. That's the only one thing that I know,
Thank you.
mambuk. Yeah. So Toastmaster Rina is from Tausug. So I know, yes, sometimes I also cry. I know when you cry, all your pain will go away. So it's okay to cry, even you're like, yeah. Now, fellow Toastmasters and guests, do you have enough? We have all the way from Con, and we bring you to Loban, or you bring you to the Waray or the Summer and Leyte, and we go far as Sulu. And we have right now our last speaker. Our last speaker going to do. Okay, let's try to see first, and let's see which province or what kind of language that our last speaker we're going to do. So our last speaker, we're going to do the strategic relationship pathway, level 1, project 3, research and presenting. Again, I think I already mentioned the objective a while ago, the same objective. The purpose of the project is for the members to learn or view the basic research methods and present well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. To remind our speaker, you are given 5 to 7 minutes to deliver your speech, and you will be evaluated and also going to speak the same language that you have. We have Toastmaster Camille Tan, that we're going to evaluate you later on. So our fourth and final speaker will have a speech titled On Poquito Español. I think we already know what kind of you're going to deliver. Our prepared speaker number 4, another champion. We have Toastmaster Lani A. de la Cruz. Toastmaster Lani A. de la Cruz.
Este un grandor oportunidad y honor para conversar y darle ayuda y explicación acerca del lenguaje talamakita chavacano. Dala este discurso, permitir conmigo para compartir los antecedentes de mi vida y yo. Buenas tardes, ustedes. Good afternoon, Toastmasters. I am Lani de la Cruz from Toastmasters Club, and I hybrid. You see, I was born in Asia's Latin city, Orgullo de Mindanao, el hermosa ciudad de San Bonga, in Davao City. So I am half Bisaya. I am a dual citizen. But I tell people whenever they get confused, I am Sambuanganya by birth and Oenya by heart. I grew up speaking Bisaya, but at home and during summer vacations in Zamboanga, I was strictly instructed to speak own Chavacano. And not just any Chavacano, the formal and proper Chavacano Zamboanga. First things first, etymology. Chavacano comes from the Castilian word chabacano, which means vulgar, words of low quality. Que horror. There is a popular song that we sing in Zamboanga. I need to sing a few lines, but please do evaluate my singing, por favor. Here it goes. Chabacano, un poquito español. Si con tu chabacano, no pueblo, dale atún a México. Que oui. As for me, that song sets up the rich and long history of the Chavacano language. I'm Spanish, and if you get to hear and speak, it's like you are in Mexico. Arriba! ¿Por qué este? Bueno, el mayor parte de palabra de Chavano de Zamboanga estaba de español de México, mezclado con mga palabrivo que existía allá. Chavacano por 400 años que existía. Principiado pasión del mga soldado español del lugar hasta ahora. According to language experts, Chavacano, albeit de facto, is the only Spanish-based Creole language in Asia. It is spoken by roughly 600 to a million people, majority of them from Zamboanga. History. In 1635, the Spaniards, fresh from their successful conquests in Luzon and Panay, arrived in Benjambangan, the old name of Zamboanga, and were Spanish Jesuit priests, soldiers, and workers from Nueva España, or Mexico, and the Filipino laborers. To ward off from the intrepid Moro pirates from the Sulusi and Basilan Strait, they began building the Fuerza de la Señora Dar, or what is now popularly known as Fort Pilar. Had the same problem as the Tower of Babel, though. We have Spanish, Mexicans, Tagalogs, Hiligayins, and Bisaya in one pot. On earth will they understand each other and carry out work? Muy imposible. Historians claim that it was actually Jesuit priests who invented Chabacan, a language where the vocabulary is mostly Spanish, but with a mix of Hiligaynon, Cebuano, and Tagalog words, so that will sit more comfortably in the Filipino tongue, and they would learn faster. And the language achieved its purpose. Take this as an example. Come kita antes sale. Let's eat first before we leave. Now, a Spanish-speaking person would understand this. For him or her, this isn't very correct. Como and antes sale have very Spanish roots. But there are two native words, anay, which is Hiligaynon, or Ilonggo, which means do something prior to doing another thing, and kita, the collective noun based Tagalog. Kumayane kita antes sale, therefore may be wrong in Spanish, but understandable, but it is the right way of saying sentence in Chavacan. Remember earlier I shared to you about the meaning of Chabacano? In 2005, the proud Sambuangueños passed a local legislation changing the letter B to V and officially called the language Chavacano. It was also the start of gregarious government efforts to preserve and promote the language in schools as a secondary mode of instruction. In the media, therefore, you have local newscasts done in Ilocano, religious sermons, and official government functions. Therefore, Sambuangueño or Sambuangueño, a person Chavacano, the land. Take note that it is a V and not a B. Por favor, acorde este en buenamente para hindi ustedes palmacha el diablo antepasados. Quiere decir, igual el otro magalenguaje, ya puede kita uy, hablar de Ce n'è odo storia e necessita gatusa. Na caso de Chavacano, Zamboanga, solamente lenguaje creol español de Asia. El magavientes orgulloso na di ila lingua. Tan ayudahan kami para engrandezar el lenguaje e preservar para na generación futuro. Habla conmigo y otro magasamaños y zamboangueñas. Muchísimas gracias para este ralo oportunidad. Fellow Toastmasters, how proud are you of your native? Good afternoon. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster.
Wow, Toastmaster Lenny, that was so bongga. Muchas gracias, mi amiga. Nunca quejarlo bilinghe. Hope I said it right. Okay, so fellow Toastmasters and guests, you've heard different kinds of languages. For me, lami kay paminawon na nakapaminaw tag from Luzon, gikan from Waray, gikan from Puso, gikan sa Zamboanga, na lain-la lingwahe. I think it's the most liberating thing here during the independence, June 12. We're able to know the different languages from our co-Filipinos. And look at right now, we listen to their stories, their languages. It's always nice to hear from our ears. But we're not yet finished. We still have on our second portion, table topics portions. And let's try to see how our table topic speakers do things with their dialect and how they're going to tell the story. Now, to lead our table talks is they said basta taga basta Ilongga guapa. I think there's no reason that this our table topic speaker, and one thing also our topic speaker is also a blood from Bohol. So meaning isog gyud kaayo ni kay apuni blood the taga Bohol. At the same time Ilongga mga kind-hearted. Our table topic master is our secretary from BAVI Bicol, also a past division governor, distinguished Toastmaster Janet Amora Para. Dr. Janet?
Salamat, Coach Ramses, and sangkin hambal na ni Ramses, no, nga ako Iloilo, ang tatay ko taga Iloilo, nanay ko taga Bohol. And that is why makahambal ako sang Hiligayon, at the same time, makasulti, makasabot og Bulanon. For this afternoon, we will have our table topics. We are due to the time limit, I'll be only able to call 3 speakers. May I ask Coach Ras to please share my screen? Okay. Table topics. Why do we have table topics? Ngaan naghambal kita sang table topics. It's because we want to be able to analyze a certain topic, be able to organize our thought, and be able to deliver a speech within a matter of time or even without preparation. So it helps us think on our feet. Now for table topics, we have different formats. May ARAW nga PEP, PPF, SG, IDA. These are just 4 of the many formats that we can use. But for this afternoon, subong nga hapon, I recommend our 3 speakers to use the PREP. PREP stands for position, reason, example, and question. We also have our time list for table topics. We have, when you see the green light or the green card means you have spoken for 1 minute. Yellow card means you have spoken for 1.5. And red when you've spoken for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, you're still given 30 seconds to your speech. So this is how we will do table topics this afternoon. I will call a person, and then That person will introduce himself, what's his province, what's his dialect, and after that, will share the topic. I hope everybody will enjoy this portion of our meeting. Magbongga gid kita. Okay. For our first speaker, may I call on Toastmaster Dominic Sentina.
Mayong hap,
Tag Taga-asa ka man, Dominic?
taga Bacolod City, subong based ko sa Davao City because ako ang trabaho pero nakapuyo pod ko sa Bohol. In ko tuon mag-Bisaya. Mag-Bisaya.
Asa ka, Paul? Tagbilaran?
Tagbilaran City, yes.
Jaime, okay. Let's proceed. Zoom Master, will you please share our first topic? So, Toastmaster Dominic, representing Bacolod, will you go for Rizal or Bonifacio? It's your turn.
Kung pilian ko between Rizal o Bonifacio, mas pilion ko si Rizal. Rason ko nga si Rizal because ang impact man Rizal, it inspire niya ang damo nga tawo, pa-realize niya ang damo nga tawo about sa ginatuhat sang Spaniard sa aton. Hindi siya physical nga hindi siya violence, hindi siya pagpatay or pag-away, but more on inspiring people or making them realize about about the slaves of Spain. So because sa amo na mas dako ang impact nga naobra niya para sa kay Bonifacio kag mas labig ang gingabtan sang iya ging buhat compared sa naobra ni Bonifacio. Sa akon nga personal nga life, gusto ko man nga ang akon nga magdugay man tani kung anong mabulgo sa division or sa akon nga club tani madumduman Manila biskan mag-stop na ang akon nga term as president or as a division director. Gusto ko tani makaagid siya sa iban nga mag-take up pud sa challenge to step out of their comfort zone and pursue their passions in life because time is very limited. So between Rizal and Bonifacio, mas pilion ko si Rizal kay mas lawig kag mas mas dugay ang impact sa iyang nabuhat. Balik sa imo, Table Topics Master Janet.
Salamat gid, Toastmaster Dominic. I share the same sentiment with you. I also go for Rizal because nagapati ako nga ang mind naton nagadominar kaysa ating physical strength. Salamat sa share sang imong thoughts about Rizal. Now, may I call on our speaker? So that was Visayas. How about go to Luzon? I see in the audience my very good friend, Charlie. Charlie, are you still there? Sassy Casas. Are you still there? Not anymore? Okay, he's no longer there. Can I call Toastmaster Mario from Eclaro Toastmasters Club?
So magandang hapon po. Ako po si Mario Ampil, laking Maynila. Talagang laking Maynila sapagkat pinanganak ako sa Tondo at ngayon ay nakatira sa Quezon City. Magandang hapon po.
So we have a purebred Tagalog. Here's your topic, Toastmaster Mario. Toastmaster Mario, which one will you choose? Balintawak or Kawit? Let's listen to Toastmaster Mario.
alam niyo po, sa kasaysayan ng mga bansa, nakikita ko na ang nagsisimula ang mga himagsikan, mga revolusyon, nanggaling mula sa yung mga mahirap, mga dukha, no? So, kaya ang katulad ng sabihin natin yung sa Pilipinas, sa Vietnam, sa Amerika, sa Timog Amerika, ang karamihan ng mga revolusyon ay nanggagaling ang nagsisimula sa mga dukha, no? Kung gagamitin natin ang lengguwahe ng mga komunista o mga sosyalista, tulad yan. Kaya ako, ang pipiliin ko ay balintawak. Kat yun ang makikita kong purong himagsikan. Nagsimula sa yung talagang nahihipan sa autoridad ng mga kla. Balintawak, hindi pang kawit. Sapagkat sa kawit po, ang himagsikan ay nasakupan na ng mga prado na mga may kaya na, no? Nakita nila na nananalo na yung mga dukha, yung mga maralita. Kaya sila na yung mga sa nila Aguinaldo, sila na yung kumuhang sa himagsikan. Kaya ako sa paniniwala ko na ang himagsikan ay nagsisimula sa maralita, mga dukha. Pipiliin ko po balintawak, hindi po kawit, balintawak po.
Salamat, Gid. Toaster Mario, I share with your thoughts that ang himagsikan ay nagaling sa mga maralita. From Luzon, let's go na to Mindanao about our Club Growth Director-elect, Nino Sepulveda.
Maayong hapon sa
Sir Nino?
tanan.
Yes, maayong hapon po. Nino, introduce yourself to the audience, please, in your native Bisaya.
Ako nagdako man ko sa Davao, pero ginikanan gikan sa Cebu gihapon sa Danao. Unya dinhi na ko nagtubo Samal Island in Davao. So magandang hapon.
Okay, so Toastmaster Nino, here's your topic. At this very moment, which of these statements has an impact to you? I love Philippines, or I'm proud to be a Filipino. Which of these statements is having an impact on you? Let's listen to our CGD-elect, Toaster Nino.
When I travel around the many places outside the Philippines, I see beautiful things, I see best practices, I see different cultures, but I still love the Philippines. Fellow masters, good afternoon. Sometimes it's always, is it okay if I speak English or Bisaya?
Yes.
Okay.
It's your choice. It's your choice.
Okay. Sometimes it's also important that we go outside of our comfort zone. Aron ang atong mata o ang atong horizon mapalambo pa nato. Ug unsay mga butang nga pwede nato madla o pwede nato bilin sa Filipino. And later on, when we are back home, we realize that still our best place is always home. we cannot replace that with any culture or any form of advancement, as they call it. The heart still belongs to, well, it is always our home. So I love the Philippines for that matter, fellow Toastmasters. Back to Table Talks Master Janet.
Salamat CGD-elect, Nino. Yes, we love the Philippines. And of course, in our hearts, we are proud to be Philippines. Fellow Toastmasters, our journey as a nation or our freedom wasn't given us for free. We had to pay a price for it. Letter to Rizal, General Luna said, I will show them that the Filipinos have more dignity, more courage, more honor. That was General Luna. What about you, fellow Toastmasters? What beats in your heart? What dictates your mind? Let's enjoy freedom, yet we should check. Balik sa imo, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much. Kamaayo gid sa ato kagwapa gid sa table topic master karon. Oy, lamig kaya pagka-deliver. It's so nice that you deliver it nicely our table topic. Yes, I would agree with Toastmaster Para that we as Filipinos, we must always our past and learn from our past. You know that our flag, the 3 stars represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, which our topic master is doing. We have people from Luzon, we have people from Mindanao, and we have people from Visayas put into one. At the same time, know that the sun of have 8 rays, and those 8 rays represent the 8 big islands of the Philippines. And what's 8 big islands? Please Google it yourself because I forgot what I was doing. Eight big islands were. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Para. We go on to the heart of the Toastmaster, which is the neural evaluation. Let's have first our picture taking. Okay, so we have to request our Zoom master. May request to please turn on your camera so that we can have freshness in our face. Okay, so may I request our Zoom master, Toastmaster June, to get the
Right, I
photo.
see people turning on their videos. Let's give them a few seconds. There you go. We have 2 pages. We have 38 people in the room right now. So I'll take the first page first. 1, 2, 3, and your biggest smile. Page 1. There you go. That's page 1. Let me just get that. And then page 2. 1, 2, 3, smile. There you go. We're done. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Toastmaster June. So now let's go on with the third portion of our meeting, which is the general evaluation. And right now, it's so nice that giingnan kong ani evaluator because I've been asking her for many times because she is one of my Ivor seats. So I'm so excited and a little bit nervous for right now because you're going to evaluate me. But before that, let's try to our general evaluator, which is immediate past division A director, distinguished master Evangeline Pascual.
What do I say? Mayo, malami, malago, beautiful, maganda, tayong lahat. You know, I feel like in the middle of a Miss Philippines contest listening to all dialects. And I've become very sentimental about listening to all these dialects because, first of all, my mama is Ilocano. My late husband was Bulacan.
my great grandfather was Francisco Balagtas. So I have to be able to embrace all these dialects that I am enjoying this afternoon. This is one great part of a Toastmasters meeting when we get to the evaluation. We continue with the evaluation together with my evaluators. I would just like to tap the attention of the speakers this afternoon because you will be the one to receive the evaluation. And the evaluation is your springboard to become better speakers in your next speeches in the future within the Toastmasters meet or outside of the Toastmasters meeting. To the speakers this afternoon, learn how to criticism. Listen attentively with interest to your evaluator. Study and apply the suggestions you're going to receive. Study and review the constructive criticisms. Learn everything possible from your evaluator. You don't lose anything, you gain more. Cultivate the attitude of appreciation. In Toastmasters, we say, you have to humble. How? You have to step back and receive feedback with an open mind and a loving. I am not going to do this evaluation. Ha, saves my neck. Yeah, hey, I would like to introduce to you my fellow evaluators because I'm a general evaluator. I have my colonels, I have my colonels are with me to give you beautiful feedback. For the first speech evaluator, I would like to call up on the virtual stage Toastmaster June Roy. Take it away, June. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Ang aking SMIN, Rina, dahil sa galing ng iyong pagkaka-deliver ng iyong tapati, ikaw ang aming salamin, virtually stage acting and presence pag-uusapan. To our general evaluator, our fellow Toastmasters friends, magandang po sa inyong lahat. Let me help analyze your further Toastmaster arena. Overall, you delivered a highly entertaining speech. Walang kaduda-duda. Demonstrated a superb virtual stage acting. If anybody says that you are a stage or theater actress, it wouldn't come out as surprising. Your use of body language, how you dramatize and chosen lines about your kambal, buy one, take one, and so many more, it showed that you are naturally comfortable with virtual stage. And I was even actual physical stage. Even your vocal variety said it all. How you demonstrate ebb and flow, heightened speech, how you came close to the camera when you needed to. All of those provided the entertainment value of your speech. And these are your strong areas which I like to recommend you continue. Now, what I feel you can enhance despite the highly entertaining speech that you delivered, I have few recommendations. One about the Zoom background. I suggest you drop using the Zoom background filter when delivering a speech. The reason for this is that your image tends to get pixelized, and all of a sudden you lose your head, your arms from the screen, and that diminishes the impact of your otherwise perfect speech due to that distraction. Another one is to distinguish the fine line between being entertained, which you are, no doubt, and being. So I'd like to recommend that you your humor value in your materials. You can test that yourself with the others, whether the land would generate that haha moment. Talking also about the punchline. And the other, it's the virtual environment. I know it's not easy to do your speech, much more if it is humorous, if you're not able to hear or see your audience. So my recommendation is you can request your audience and they will help you to turn their audio and video when you deliver this speech. I'm sure they will cooperate. And then you can see their reactions. You can hear either the silence or their laughter. But again, as I said, ikaw ang naging salamin sa amin papaano gamitin ang Zoom at virtual environment para ipakita papaano ang tamang paggamit ng stage acting and presence. Hindi sobra, hindi slapstick, sakang at napaka-entertaining. With that, I congratulate you, Rina. I'm sure your next delivery of your speeches would be a lot more entertaining than this. Your talent, continue sharing that. You, Madam General Evaluator.
Bongga ka, Toastmaster Junroy. Bongga ka talaga. For a guy to speak that way, for you to be able to, for that kind of feedback is fantastic. I'm going to give my overall evaluation after the evaluators have completed the roles. Is that all right? Toastmaster of the evening? That's all right.
Yeah,
all right. Now we go to the speech evaluator, number 2, Toaster Wilma. Please come up virtual stage. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
You're on.
Yeah. I'm Will Wilson. I'm the president of Caribe, which is under Area 3, and the Claros, the speaker, is our area director. So I'm honored to evaluate Area Director Boyet. Thank you. Boyet, I hope I'll do justice to an excellent job you have done. You presented a good introductory question with a question which piqued interest of your audience. Presented good details to introduce yourself. You presented a good way to reminisce about your life, the sweetness of life in province, and the hard trials at the same time. You explained the title of your speech that way, Karasala, which is how beautiful or how taste or how nice. Also used the word of the day, which is crazy, because generally, myself, for example, I don't remember it when I do a speech. Your ending was excellent. Life in this world should enjoy, because never happen again. You should try to enjoy it. Despite the hardship, said everything will turn out all right. It is an inspiring line in this day and age. You said, as long as you are not stepping on someone's shoes. It is also a lesson for people to enjoy life, but enjoy it without hurting anyone. Totally did an excellent job to meet the objective of your speech. I hope that I saw emotion in your speech. It's difficult in an online speech like this, in Zoom, but if you could just look directly into the eyes of your audience, telling a story, reach out to your audience, bring them to your experience, bring them to your life, because your story was extraordinary. A.D. Boyet, Karasa pamati ang imo istorya. Congratulations for a job well done. Listening to the beauty of Waray language, I'm inspired to set up a club of Waray speak the way Toastmasters Rina Chanko has her Filipina Masters Club. Masters Club. This is a very good opportunity to learn what the others are doing. I'm so impressed. Thank you very much. Back to Toastmasters today. Thank you.
Calling the attention of Club Growth Director. Did you hear what the evaluator Toastmaster Wilma just said? That she's going to so inspired to put up a Waray King Toastmaster Club. Woo!
Why
And
not?
congratulations to you because of that very powerful evaluation game. I will continue my evaluation later on, but let me just go on with the next evaluate. This is Toastmaster Firas Z Ututal. Hi, please come up to the virtual stage. There you are. Where is she?
Hello?
Yes, Master Firas.
Hello? Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, and you're good looking.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Marayaw adlaw yukatan. Hello, Bicol, Cebu, and EV. Good afternoon to the different clubs of BAVI. My task for this afternoon is to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Rania entitled Bud Tumangtang's Sulus Crying Mountain. Let's talk about the purpose of her speech, which is research and presenting. I believe that it was a well-organized speech, starting right at the most basic information of Bud Tumangtangis. Then she immediately presented how this is relevant and important to the lives of the Tausug people. Toast to Rania, your strengths for these presentations are following. First, I think the topic was a great choice. I mean, the country is very curious about spook. Normally, what here are the beautiful beaches, the Sultanate history, but shows a topic that is quite unique. Di atas tok tausog, may ngat magbangon ni pagbisaran ang kandayin tao, dumungog tuod. Second, I personally believe that the stories you presented were interesting, and not to mention how you presented it with strong emotions, which ignited the two lover, and the way you presented them, transition from melancholic voice to a sweet but tragic emotions. Makalagbo pikilan in mga pasampay mo kamo biyaon. I think it gave more impact to the stories you were relaying. Third, Toastmaster, the last part of the message was surprising. It was not just informative and entertaining, but the message you share about how it is important to preserve these stories, to remind the locals about the rich history and culture, I think is one of the best part of your speech. In maalaga, tuod in hungan, pagpaladyo pigilan pa mga nagdurungog, and for congratulations. There are only few things that I like for you to improve. First, it's nice that you start the information of the mountain. It would have been better to start with full introduction. My recommendation is that a mysterious phrase to catch the attention of the audience. I think this is the best time to use short sug phrases with a weeping voice just to grab the attention. Pakusukon pa may it would improve if you visual aids in order for us to witness the majestic view of the mountain. It will give us the chance to visualize and follow you throughout your speech. And at the same time, visual aids can be a wonderful opportunity to use translation on the part where you were using your native language. Bale, mas lumingkat, impampay mo bang kita mo kamo, buto mang pasampay kanila. Also, lastly, there were instances your eye contact was wavering. It's really to focus more on the audience and on the camera as for me to focus on your presentation. But Toastmaster Rania, these are minimal improvement. I believe you were a total packed speaker, confident in delivering your speech, and not just confidence, but pride and honor. Suluhas budtangis at I bet that Bud Tumangtangis is crying right now as you proudly showcase it to everyone in the room. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Yes, thank you very much, Toastmaster. How do you say Taz? I thought you were a lady. I wasn't able to grasp the gender of the name in the beginning. But nevertheless, your beautiful, handsome face, everything away. So I'd like to continue with our fourth evaluator. That is Toastmaster Camille. Please come up the virtual stage, Toastmaster Camille. Toastmaster Camille. You there?
I think Camille is cut. We'll just go back to Camille later.
Okay. So allow me to please, so I won't be able to evaluate yet the evaluators for the speech projects. I wanted to do that at the beginning, but I guess, do I continue with the table topics evaluation therefore?
I think it will be
Is that what you want to do?
getting
All
to
right.
us while waiting for Toastmaster Camille. We'll have the table.
I quite get that. So I continue with the favorites evaluation.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Carry on, please. I'd like to call up on the virtual stage Toastmaster Kelly. Toastmaster Kelly, hello.
Yes, I'm here.
There you are.
All right, just setting.
Uy.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
Carry on.
Okay. Well, okay, maayong hapon ninyong tanan. I'm your table topic.
I got in.
Okay. So if evaluating table topics wasn't challenging enough, this afternoon, BAVI Toastmasters Club decided to throw in another challenge. But overall, I did enjoy the diversity and everyone showcasing especially your native dialects. So I hope you did too. So allow me to go through and evaluate each of the speakers that we had this afternoon. So our first speaker was Toastmaster Dominic, who had the choice between Rizal or Bonifacio. Toastmaster Dominic, while you answered your table topic, the Bisaya word about it also is tugma, or the Tagalog tugma, which is on point. And I say this kay klaro ang imong pagtubag sa topic. Gigamit nimo ang girekomenda nga format, which is the prep format, the point, reason, example, point. And based on that, imong share kung unsa imong preference o ngano. And in this case, your preference was Rizal. Naganahan sa nako imong paggamit sa contrast. Ngano si Rizal o ngano si Bonifacio. Unsay difference nila and why you chose one over the other. And finally, ganahan sa go that you use your personal example. Ang recommendation ng nako nimo, Toastmaster Dominic, is to strengthen ang connection between sa imong personal example and with your answer, which is kang Rizal. So what in Rizal's example will connect to your recommendation, which is to step out of the comfort zone. So kung mas ma-connect na nimo, I'm sure you can deliver an even more powerful message. Now, our second speaker had the choice between balintawak or kawit and Toastmaster Mario. A Bisaya word that comes to mind is dilaab, which is a strong flame that burns brightly. Because just like that flame, I think Your answer highlights the resilience of our people, especially and even the common person. So, Toastmaster Mario, katulad ng ikaunang tagapagsalita, sinagot mo rin yung topic gamit ang prep format. So again, point, reason, example, point. Nagustuhan ko rin dahil sa binahagi mo na impormasyon sa amin tungkol sa kaibahan ng balintawak at kawit at kung ano ang kinakatawan ng mga lugar na ito. Ginamit mo rin yung pag-highlight ng kaibahan ng balintawak versus kawit. At ang isang rekomendasyon ko lang sa iyo is para mas lubos namin maintindihan naintindihan ko na marangal yung revolution pag nagsimula sa madukha, pero ang rekomendasyon ko lang sa iyo is to expound kung bakit iyon ang masasabi mo or explain the why, kung why you would choose to have a revolution from the masses at ano yung importance nito sa iyo. And finally, our third speaker, Toastmaster Nino, had the quote or had the choice between I love the Philippines or I'm proud to be a Filipino. And Toastmaster Nino, a Bisaya word that comes to mind is kahidlaw, which means a deep longing. And I thought this was fitting for your answer because as you shared with us, even as we travel to different places, we still have that longing for home at the end of the day. And Toastmaster Nino, I thought you delivered a very clear answer to explain your choice. And I liked how you began by making the opening already very personal, telling us that even though you've been to different places, home is still where the heart is. I liked how you add a touch of a personal experience that I feel we can all connect to and relate to. Toastmaster Nino, my one recommendation for you is to close. You may want to consider closing your speech with a call to action. So at the end of the day, how would you want us to act on your message? But overall, I'd like to congratulate all of our three table topics speakers this afternoon. So allow me now to evaluate our table topics master, Toastmaster Janet. And Toastmaster Janet, I thought you were very proficient as a table topics master. Wasted no time telling us about what table topic is, how we can go about answering, what's a recommended format, and even the time allotment for table topics. I like how you were prepared to call out which speakers and you were assertive enough to call them out right away. And I like that touch of that interview before each speaker, and I thought allowed you to break the ice very effectively. I also love the theme, how it was in line with our theme tonight, this afternoon and today, celebrate Independence Day. One recommendation, Toastmaster Janet, is perhaps you can leave one or two topics and call out here, just in case there's someone who wants to share their thoughts on a topic. But I'd like to congratulate you and all of our three this afternoon for sharing your thoughts and sharing your native dialects with us this afternoon. So congratulations and back to you, General Evaluator.
Toastmaster Kennedy, your magic word is proficiency. I'll continue giving you feedback in a while, but congratulations and thank you for giving your wonderful feedback. I'll now to go to the language evaluator. I will pick the fourth evaluator later on after we finish with the timer, because we are following the program now. She got cut off, but I hope she'll understand. Language evaluator will be Toastmaster Rachel. Please come up the virtual stage. Rachel.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters friends and guests. Today has been one of the most Herculean tasks a grammarian could ever encounter. Because aside from our word of the day, bonga, I have heard a lot of dialects that I personally do not speak of. But as your grammarian, I was still able to, number one, take note of the gems that were mentioned during the meeting, at least the ones that I understood, and the germs, which are well, the usage of the English language that we may still improve on. Of again, our word of the day was bonga, and I would like to mention that we have used it successfully 13 times during the entirety of the meeting. Apart from that, I'd like to thank the following for using them. Part of the people that I will be thanking use the word of the day via chat. So I was also reading the chat. Toastmaster Boyet, Toastmaster Ramses, Sarah, Joanne, John, Judy, Annie, Claire, and Aquilesa. I am sorry if I also murdered your name. Thank you so much. Now, for me to be able to tell you, germs, I will be using the word keme as identification of the germs that I have noticed for this meeting. Keme is an informal language used in Filipino that means so-so, but can still be improved. It is also a name that is used overseas, which is pronounced as Chem. It's a Native American name meaning secretive. So things that we need to keep as secret would be number one, the verb tenses. I know someone mentioned we're going to versus is going to. We're going to do a lot of times. And we also have having an impact versus, or we can say it better as has impact or has impacted you. Next one is Philippinism. Philippinism is when we literally translate Filipino language to English. It's when we become Google Translate friends. Di ko na carry. First, we have I am pure Tagalog, versus only speak Tagalog. I don't know what it is, but people have the tendency to put at the end of the sentence, if especially in the Philippines. We also have may I call on like our versus may I call. And we have it's between us versus it's the two of us or let's do it together. We also have Toastmasters was put into birth versus Toastmasters was born or Toastmasters started. We also have let's go now to versus let us proceed or let us now go to. And last, I've noticed someone mentioned Camille is cut versus Camille got cut off or Camille got disconnected. Next, we have redundancy. Redundancy is when we replicate a word that is already in the sentence. We have 12 a.m. in the morning versus 12 in the morning or 12 a.m. because a.m. already means morning. And next, we have he is a techie master. To mention that someone is techie means that they have expertise in technology. That's why they are techie. So when you say techie master, it's redundant. You can just say he is techie. Next and last, we have pronunciation. Have Toastmasters versus Toastmasters, wife versus wife. I'm sure your wife will not be glad if she's called wife. Next, bad luck versus bad luck. Voice versus voice. And this is a phrase. These are our reminders versus these are our reminders. And last, evaluated versus evaluated. Next, will be mentioning the gems that I note during the meeting by using the term shala. It's also synonym to bonga in a Filipino informal language. Did you know that it's coming from, the root word is mashala, which means God willing. We have from Toastmaster Bayet, rising amidst the hardships in life. I did not understand the whole speech, but this is, I think, gist of what he mentioned. Also, from one of our speakers, until the day they return, there will be tears of longing. It's beautiful and sad at the same time. From one of my favorite speakers, no imposible. Nothing is impossible. Next, we have There's No Place Like Home, and I agree. And from our beautiful general evaluator, learn to take constructive criticisms, one of the hardest things that I have to learn personally. Before I give you back to a general evaluator, I would give you tips for keeps. First, do not be afraid to go back to basic. Listen and glisten and be inspired to speakers who are already great at the English language. And next, practice makes perfect progress. So, of course, to become bonga in communication takes a lot of practice. It may be difficult, but that doesn't mean it's not doable. So, wherever you are in Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao, I encourage you practice. Thank you so much, and back to you, General Evaluator.
There was full practice makes perfect. Practice makes pros. So we carry on to our next evaluate. The counter, Claire. Please come up the virtual stage. Toastmaster
Good
Claire.
afternoon. I am Toastmaster Claire from Central Studio Toastmaster Club and McCullough Bay Toastmasters Club based in Mindanao. Pardon my background. It is raining. There is a heavy rain from here, but I'd like to report my role for today as a counter. But let me share first a quotation from Martin Luther King, which is, if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, by all means, move. And today, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am amazed with what the speakers brought us today, which lead me to count only few of what I had observed. The process, which is committed by Toastmaster Eclar, pardon me to say the name, Eclaro Super Mario, committed process about Achilles Chan, process of one, Zara C. Ano, Rana Abdul Rauf 2, and for repeated words, it is again Eclair Super Mario, repeated words here, and Raina Abdul Rauf, Dominic Centina 3, and then Zara C 1, and Rina Chanko 2. I guess that's all I had recorded because the weather here is not that good. I hope with my report, everyone, my fellow Toastmaster, it is a reminder for us to be conscious, to be aware of our native language, to speak fluently and confidently. Back to you, Jan Evaluator.
Don't get wet in the rain. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Claire. You're looking so under that yellow. At any rate, I'd like to call first before I go to timer so that the timer could also time our next evaluator. Camille is back. May I request Camille to come up the virtual stage to give evaluation? Yes, hi Camille.
Hello.
There you are.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay. Hola. Buenas tardes, los Toastmasters y amigos. Tuve mis dificultades con mi phone y ahora estoy aquí. Chabacano, un poquito español por Lani de la Cruz. Es un privilegio evaluar tu discurso hoy día, Lani, porque Chabacano es un lenguaje muy interesante conmigo, porque yo hablo español y tengo muchas ganas de entender y aprender porque quizás un día un poquito chabacano porque es muy importante con la historia en Zamboanga en las Filipinas. Ok, vale. Tú eres un habladora bien, hablas. Tengo dos complejos. Primero, tienes mucha energía y pasión con tu discurso y a mí me gusta y he aprendido mucho de tu pasado, de tus antepasados de Chabacano y una bonita canción de Chabacano. Y segundo, tienes timbre en tu voz cuando tú hablas. Pero tres consejos que te doy ahora. Hablas muy rápido, chabacano. Entiendo mucho tus palabras, pero es demasiado rápido para la audiencia, yo pienso. Especialmente conmigo, quiero aprender más en chabacano, pero tienes que pulir y es despacio, más rápido y contar visual es así, está bien como tú digas, pero por favor, despaciamente, hablas despacio y comporta de lenguaje oral más despacio, que seas tranquila y calma en el futuro, pero es un discurso muy bonito y a mí me gusta. Gracias por compartir tu cultura, orgullo, fino, feliz día de independencia, Mabu. Back to you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Camille. I thought I lost for a while.
Yeah, I was floating around somewhere.
But I was watching you all throughout, after you, looking for you. Now we go to our next evaluator, timer. May I invite our virtual stage, Toastmaster Jessica. For the timer. Oh, there he is. Lovely.
Whoa, man. Good afternoon. Oh, hi, everyone. It's me, your timer. And I really don't know. They said I'm Ilocano, but my grandpa is Japanese. Now, what's fun about being timer is I see people shaking. They're kind of watching out. They're looking. I don't know if they're scared of timer. They're scared of being in time. I saw some speakers there, and I think that's a power to behold as a timer. It's really difficult, I have to be honest, to really take, to watch all these everyone speak and keep track because it's really it's really nakakalito. They're speaking Tagalog anyway. It's my native language. Now, to sum up, speakers, and I will just divide speakers with their respective category. For example, I will say general evaluation for table topics, for the individual evaluation, and of course, the prepared speaker. Now, I will flash different colors for every average color for that category. Let us start with our prepared speakers. I need to remove my background so you can see so you can see the screen. Now for our prepared speakers, I could say that our general color for the prepared speakers is color red, because for the prepared speakers, it's color red because everyone kind of went over time. So for example, for Toastmaster, we all know that we're in panic with our speeches. So both of us got a little bit over time, so I could say that color red. Now, for the next category, the next phase of our meeting, it is our table topics. Now, for our table topics, I could see that the general colorful topics is, are you ready for this? Color yellow. Yellow because although we're on time, I could see that we went 1 minute and 53 seconds. Almost everyone, oh, almost everyone got 1 minute and 53 seconds. I don't know if the three of our table topics speakers, they talk that just gonna make it into 1 minute and 53 seconds. Because everyone got the same time, they finished the same time. It's unbelievable, to be honest. Now, for our general evaluation, for our prepared speakers evaluation, our color for that is, are you ready? It's kind of split time, to be honest. I think we also have color. Are you ready for the color? It's color red also. Referred our evaluator for individual speaks. They got a little bit overtime except for the speaker for, I think for Toastmaster Renia. Now, for table topics, I have to be honest. I have a little bit of difficulty for the table topics because I have to compute all of the speakers. Then I have to give every speaker a 1 minute to 2 minute allotment for the evaluation. So I think I had a little bit of confusion here, but all in all, I think Toastmaster, the evaluation for our table topics, he got it on time. He got a yellow mark. So I think it's still on time. Now for our tag team, which also includes me, for our grammarian, I think she also received, our grammarian and our actor received a color green. Finally, we got the color green. Finally, we got the tag team, including me. I hope so. We got everything on time. Now, fellow Toastmasters, it is an honor to evaluate in terms of time every speaker in the room. And I think that just like the saying goes, if you go under time, you don't respect your time. But if you over if you go over time, it's kinda disrespect your audience in that particular. Now, thank you very much, fellow Toastmaster, our distinguished guests, for choosing me as a timer, and I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jessica. The youthful in you is so, and you give me a vibrant feeling to carry on this afternoon. Fellow Toastmasters, I'd like now to go to my evaluation for the evaluators who joined me in this segment this afternoon. I would like to follow the pattern power. POWER. Just so we become more specific on how evaluation would flow. Power evaluation. For P, this evaluation pattern was put together by the late PDG Bayuan, the mother of Philippine Toastmasters. She was with us in Camarao. So P, the positive points of every speaker is the organization. Was there a opening statement, the body, and the conclusion of every evaluation given? So for the opening statement, for the evaluators, for the prepared speeches, they gave, the speakers, the evaluators gave the title, the question, they had an arresting opening statement. The body, their evaluation was well crafted with compelling and motivating and informative messages, which is very, very vital for the speakers to know more and receive from their evaluators. The conclusion of every speaker for the speech project closed with a bang. There was a message, embrace, and ponder as a call for action. Now for the O, objectives. Was the objective of the speech achieved? I am not speaking about the speech project, but the speech of the evaluator. The speech, the evaluation should always be in a form of a speech. So was the speech achieved? The objective was achieved? Yes, because all the evaluators had the opening statement, body, and closing statement. The weaknesses, PO job weaknesses of the evaluators. Weaknesses, certainly, and we are guilty of that. Say, for example, the delivery. When you want to empathize and stress on your point, maybe we practice the TIA method. T for tempered dramatization. Say, for example, the vocal variety, talking about Tausug, you're talking about culture, you're talking about the Tagalog of Rina, then be it like a walk in the park with Rina. Internalization, the TIA, internalize your evaluation, feel it. Give an example. How do you relate to the evaluation that you gave the speaker? Did it have any effect? What is it? Animation, like pretend you are there with them. Pretend that, let's say, for example, paying attention, say, for example, the evaluation of Firas. You were so present for the speaker when you were giving your evaluation. The point here for my evaluators is that since my role is to evaluate the evaluators, I was looking for everybody on screen because I'd like to be able to meet you or see you how you would evaluate her. The greatest encouragement that I'd like to give to you is the how to evaluate. When we read a book, we think of the readers. When we do a script, think of the artistas. When you give your evaluation, think of the speaker. Be present. Be there for the speaker. The speaker should see you on screen. The speaker should be getting feedback from you while delivering her speech. And that's my goal. That's my purpose. To see how you are doing your evaluation while you are on stage. And that we are on physical meetings. We're not on a bird stage. That you don't have to go to the bathroom to evaluate, to hide under the table. The challenge here is, the reinforcement I'm giving is that try to stay screen. Watch the speaker. Try to put in your mind the points that you to impart to the speaker. So that the general evaluator could also see how you act or respond to the speakers. Don't hide. When I'm talking to my loved one, I'd like my loved one eye to eye. When I'm to my confessor, I'd like to feel my confessor to be with me. So these are the points that I would like to share with you. Now for the table topics, evaluation. It's a very apt topics given because it's Independence Day today. Congratulations. You remind me of my today, my June 11. Because today, June 11, I won my Miss Philippines crown. And morning after, it's June 12, here I am, celebrating my morning after different format with you here in BAVI. For the Toastmaster, so I'm glad, I gave already the timer to evaluate already so that he doesn't evaluate me. The DTM stands for don't time me. Yeah. So for the table topics, it was good. It was very fluid. The transition was all right. Kenley, go. You were very specific. You were very precise. You're very intelligent. But what I'd like to suggest to you is your frame on the virtual stage. you're cropped here and there. So while you were giving all this format and the format, you were cut off somewhere somehow. So I'm losing track of you. But overall, Toastmaster Kenley, clear with your purpose. But to my fellow Toastmasters, I'd like to remind you to keep in mind, please, that the table topics portion in a Toastmasters meeting is a tradition of Toastmasters International. It is a tradition. It's not just like we have to do it. There's no Toastmaster meeting without a table topics portion. Let's keep that in mind. It's a tradition of Toastmasters International. Let's always say that as we give our evaluation. Especially for the younger ones, for the newer members, it's a tradition. So we keep the tradition. Now we go to the language evaluator. Oh, she was grand and specific and sabi nga, ginalingan masyado. Ginalingan. You know, it's like she did her best and we're all taken back. I was taken aback. You were so bonga T, your language evaluator, grammarian, Shell. Your context exuded. Your enunciation so precise. What would I like to say to you? You started with saying, I'm sorry, thank you. You said, I'm sorry, but you said, thank you. You didn't really connect with each other. So you have successfully confused there. Congratulations. But overall, the beautiful face, the vocal varieties. Thank you. Now I got to go to the act counter. That would be Toastmaster Claire. Ooh, Claire, yes. The words, filler, sound, etc. You were able to catch the germs and some good phrases. What is the purpose of the counter? The speech could have been in the form of an opening statement with a body and a close statement. How would you be able to do it next time? Let's keep in mind that the apparative pauses. First of all, refrain from saying in the future that you have 2 as or 3 as, because the Toastmaster might just check if the Toastmaster has 2 as. Just say aspirative pause. You're smart, Camille. I like the fun in you. You get my point?
Yep.
You give your speech, try to use the phrase aspirative pauses. Now, there are 3 kinds of aspirative pauses or pauses in every speech. Let me remind you, these are fillers. The word filler, the sound filler, and the action filler. The word filler is, you see, okay. The very good senator whose habit then was to say, you know. But as a Toastmaster coached him, and now he doesn't let him repeat his word. It's like, you know. He's one great man. I love him so much, but he's really transformed. The sound filler, these are sound filler. The action filler, like, you say it best when you say nothing at all. Action speaks louder than words. You are not prepared. What I'm trying to explain to our fellow Toastmasters that we are at the act counter. Let's be more specific. What is the act counter? It's a very, very important rule in the Toastmasters meeting. So what? So what if you were able to get the old aspirative pauses? What's in it for the speaker? Well, so what? And for the grammar, so what if you got the gems? So what? What's in it for me? O ano ngayon? Kung maganda ang mga sinabi mo, o ano ngayon? Kung maganda yung nasabing mga phrases. What's in it for the speaker? Will you sound more intelligent? Will you sound more exciting? Will you be invited to be the guest speaker? Q&A portion of the speech contest and the beauty contest, will you shine? Try to be more specific on the value of your roles evaluators. Yes? Overall, super glad. I didn't understand everything that you said, but I felt shocked. I was groping. I could really objective. I went subjective because I was just the energy. I was just feeling the energy from all the speakers. Now we go timer. The timer kept saying, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. I'm thinking, are you dishonest? I remember our late DTM, the first DTM in the world. It's a Filipino, Toastmaster Nes Dizon. He passed on, the time around. He would always say, I'd like to be honest, not that I'm dishonest. So try to catch this, yes dear, love you. I love you more. Love you more. Try to, and I lost me there, huh? You got me there. We tried honest with our feedback in giving time, showing me your colors, different color. I was trying to grasp and trying to tell you, maybe we could go generic, red, green, and yellow. Simplify. Well, how do you say it? Sweet, short, sweet, and simple. SSS. Maybe like that. Cheers. So the value of the time. Time is money. You spend it wisely. The contest, if you're joining a contest, you go time, or if you go under time, it's bye-bye time. Zero in on this booth, in this fair, the purpose of time. Because in the Toastmasters meeting, we learn here so many things, we unlearn, we realize many things. The value of time, it's bye-bye time. You were right when you said, you take the other person's time, you waste the person's time. Focus more on more details of all the time, the value of time as you give your evaluation. But overall, all the speakers, how do you say it? Kagwapo, malalago, maganda, delightful. Because why do I say that? What's the value of this beautiful frame? The first thing the person sat is the face, not the feet. And you gave me that impression that lahat maganda because yours all from the heart. So congratulations. But I'm not yet done. Last di last. You're clapping. You think you're get away with it? Toastmaster Ramses, hi! Huwag kang papalakpak dyan, ha? Ang dami mong message sa akin, nalilito ako, overlapping. Oh my goodness. He's really very focused on his work. Okay. You're very precise. We introduce all the speakers, you use the plotting. My fellow Toastmasters, are you aware of the plotting? Plotting? Yes, yes, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Plotting, 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 plotting. You gave the path, you gave the level, you gave the objective, you gave the time, you gave the title, you gave the evaluator, you gave the name, plotted. It used to be Sutton during the traditional way, but now we're in pathways, they call it plotted, kasi sinasabi na yung path and the level. So any Toastmaster of the Day's program, as you introduce your speakers, always use the plotted, which you did, Toastmaster Ramses. Congratulations for doing that. Overall, during the meeting, everything flowed accordingly. I was just looking for one thing. I was looking for an opening prayer. You know, there's a little cliche that goes something like, gotta pray just to make it today. You gotta just to make it today, man. And why not coconut? Whisper a little prayer so everything would flow. Can't go wrong, man. Can't go wrong. I'm just floored to be invited tonight, to this afternoon. This is my third Toastmasters meeting. And I tremendously enjoy meeting you guys. It's my first time to join you and bongga ang feeling talaga. I'm so floored to be with you this afternoon. Thank you very much. People say, don't say thank you in Toastmasters. Don't say thank you at the end of your speech. But this thing, the greatest gift I could give you, is gratitude and recognition. My heart goes to yours. Let's keep safe. Get the vaccine. Whether you like it or you like, get the vaccine. Marunong pa kayo sa doktor. So carry on. This is your Banji saying, Inama, lami, I love you more. Back to you, Toastmaster-based program, Toastmaster Ramses.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Evangeline Pascual. It's so nice to have you today. And to all Toastmaster, it's really a great privilege. And sa akong dughan, nag-ulbo-ulbo, or my heart is really full right now to meet all my friends in Toastmaster from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, even beyond the Philippines. That's one that I love about Toastmaster, is that come into one. Even we speak in different languages, but here we are, we express our stories, tell our stories, and we give our smile. Even akong English sometimes binayabas o akong Bisaya kay tinambay, but I know all of you understand my heart. So this is your Toastmaster of the evening and the coach for BAVI. This is Distinguished Toastmaster Ramses. I'll give the floor to our officers for BAVI Bicol, BAVI Eastern Visayas, and BAVI Cebu. Master Achilles Chan and Toastmaster Joni.
Okay, are you still with me, guys? Are you still awake? So now, can I hear if we have a Toastmaster guest here? Because we will ask a few
Nakauwi na po.
questions.
Nakauwi na po yung mga
Miss
anak ko.
Ruth,
Si Miss
mga
Ruth.
sisters.
Si Miss Pasko.
Thank
Opo.
you.
Nag-enjoy po
Okay.
sila.
So for now, my heart is full with your smiles, your stories, and with your sharing and your talents, the bilingual talents you have. So I am so grateful and honored to spend this independence with Bobby, trying to meet Bobby Toastmasters clubs in Bicol, Eastern Visayas, and Cebu. I am a Cebuano, and may I call my fellow Dagueñon and Cebuano because she's now in Cebu. Our division idol Joni.
Okay, thank you, the Toastmaster Lisa Chan. And thank you everyone for joining the seventh joint meeting of Bavi Club Subdivision I. We really have a very bongga Toastmasters meeting and the Philippine Independence Day. It's really a great time to celebrate independence, the Independence Day of the Philippines. Very bongga from the speakers down to all the rakers, and of course to the audience as well. Okay, distinguished Toastmaster,
so our
let's do it together.
Next meeting is June, the 4th of Saturday. The 4th Saturday of June. So see you then. And the power vested in us. We
by Toastmasters International.
Adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you.
Spend your
Have a great Saturday.
Well,
June 24, Jeepers of